this, just so we could get something on the board. And plus it's a copy of itself, which is really nice. What's going on, YouTube? Achilles here, and today I put together a mono white artifact deck, and this one is based around Ugin, Eye of the Storms. We try to ramp up with a bunch of cards to get to Ugin, and once we get it on the board, whenever we cast a colorless spell, we get to exile up to one target permanent that's one or more colors. So everything in this deck is colorless except for a few cards, and we're trying out a mono white shell just so we could play Day of Judgment and answer all those threats. And if we went colorless with no colors, we would just not have any board wipes, we would have spot removal, but that's about it. So this way we could answer a bunch of threats and get our game plan going. We play a very controlled strat, we draw a bunch of cards, and we are just going to ramp. So let's get right into this list. We got 4 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Instant Ramen, 4 Mazemind Tome, 1 the Irencrag, 4 Ashe, Princess of Dalmasca, 4 Thran Spider, 4 Day of Judgment, 4 White Auracite, 2 Hedron Archive, 1 Ring of the Lucii, 1 the Mightstone and Weakstone, 1 Nexus of Becoming, 4 Ugin, Eye of the Storms, 1 Portal to Phyrexia, and for the lands we got 2 Ishgard, the Holy Sea, 9 Plains, 4 Adventurers Inn, 1 Blast Zone, 4 Demolition Field, and 4 copies of Mirrex. I also apologize in advance for the loud AC. I got a new microphone and a new AC as well to try to fight the summer, and it is a really good microphone. I got a Blue Yeti, but it's just all about trial and error trying to figure out how to adjust it all and everything, so I do apologize in advance. Let's get right into these games. Opponent goes first. I'm going to keep this. If I had to guess, it's some kind of Sephiroth deck just by seeing the Grindy freebooter. It's just my first impression whenever I see that. Now it's just some kind of a self-mill deck. Now that the forest is involved. No attack, very interesting. Let's just keep gaining life and go for another Mazemind Tome. Very fancy. Take that on top. Now if we want on curve, we could use Day of Judgment by making Mirrex an extra plane, which could be relevant. All depends on what they do though, of course. That's a Glissa. Interesting. I get the counters on. Just want to gain a bunch of life. Especially if they pressure us. Trying to find stuff that we need. Oh, that's a good card. Can't play it though. In this matchup, the Soul Guide Lantern isn't that good. So let's see what they get rid of with Glissa. Oh wait, never mind. It gets rid of enchantments. I keep thinking it could get rid of artifacts. That's fine then. I don't know why I keep thinking that Glissa can get rid of artifacts, but better for us, honestly. If they go wide, which they didn't, that would have been better, and then we could go Day of Judgment next turn, but unfortunately, that isn't the case. Got a second plane though, that's really good. If I play this Ashe, it's gonna die. We already know that. I don't want to use the Day of Judgment on this one card. It doesn't make any sense for me. But I also don't want them to draw cards. It's very conflicting. I think I'm just going to draw cards. I don't want to do it this way, but I want them to commit more to the board, and then the Day of Judgment will be live. Well, not live, it's already live, but I just don't want to use it on one creature, but if I have to, I might have to. There you go. Thank you. Play something else while you're at it. Go for the Day of Judgment. Nexus of Becoming will be your turn 6 play. And we could use our whatchamacallit now. Our Soul Guide Lanterns with Tiny Bones. It's so funny. Honestly, I want to find something. We don't need any more planes. Get rid of this, just so we can get something on the board. And plus it's a copy of itself, which is really nice, because if they don't remove it, which they obviously will, but if they have Go for the Throat, now it's an artifact, so they can't technically get rid of it, but, you know, they have Sheoldred's Edict, this and that, a whole bunch of cards. I am going to block this, though, because I do not want to deal with them using a Soul Guide Lantern from our graveyard as an extra way to get a card, because they're already getting a card with Glissa, so it's already bad enough for us. Alright, so we get to draw. Now we play Ugin, get rid of Glissa. And we're just going to make a bunch more. Well, I was going to bring out the Thran, but I think it's better just to draw a card instead. And do we... You know what? This is actually an interesting play. Because it's like it's still entering, so we still get the Power Stone. It's actually a really cool interaction between Nexus of Becoming with the Thran Spider. In the sense that it kind of just makes you cast your 3-drop cards, like how I played this pretty much for free, and it still has all its value attached to it. Even though they get rid of it, it's more than enough to get the job done. Opponent's going to go first. Not bad of a start. I'm going to keep it. And this is sealed turn 1. What will we get with Mazemind Tome? Gotta find the perfect card. Good thing is they probably have all this Go for the Throat, all this kind of removal held up, just waiting. We're not playing anything. We're just chilling. Okay. What can we scry into? It might actually be relevant in this matchup, just because I want to stay alive and not die. So as much as that might be a ridiculous play, I do not want to take any... Well, I'm always going to take damage against a deck like this, but it is nice just to gain the life. It's going to be the key thing in a matchup like this, if I stay alive or not. Because once I start bringing out the White Auracites on them, it's going to be really nice. Do I have a follow-up creature? They do not. Interesting. Okay. So we are going to get rid of the Revenant. I'm also going to put a Scry on this. I want to gain that life. That's all I care about right now. Plus, if we could get to 9 mana and bring out the portal to Phyrexia, that would be insane. That's just the goal here. Oh, the Ugin. Okay. So, this is the move, guys. We go for Mirrex, go for another White Auracite, get rid of Cecile, and next turn we get to go for Ugin, because these are mana rocks for us, which is so cool. So you can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna draw a card, gain some life. They don't have anything out yet. I don't know if I want to go for it yet. I think I'm just going to set up for Portal, just in case if I want to go for that next turn. Next turn we'll either go for Ugin or Portal. Let's see. Corpses of the Lost. It's a good card. I'm just going to absorb all this damage with the Instant Ramen. Just got to put a cup of ramen in Ugin's hand over here. Okay, so we draw. It's a good card. So we go for Ugin. Let's get rid of this first. We're going to get rid of both, which is the best part. But we're going to get rid of that right now. Let's draw the card now in case they have Shuldred's Edict or something. And from here on out, we should be good. Bet they have a Go for the Throat in their hands. It's probably their worst nightmare, just to only see artifacts that I play. Oh, that's a move. Very interesting. Huh. That's one way to do it. Okay, we get to go to our turn. Let's get an extra card. And by the way, once we get to the -11 on this thing, we could literally just get our whole deck out to the board if we wanted to. We're going to go for Thran Spider, and we get to exile the Forsaken Miner. Interesting. They keep it in the graveyard that way. So, at instant speed, I could use the Thran Spider's ability, and we have 5, 7, 9 mana to play around with. Yeah, they know they lost. Not bad of a start. The Mirrex will act as a temporary white mana source. I guess they're playing Azorius Control, if I had to guess. if they are playing Azurius Control, I think Mazemind Tome makes more sense, because if we get it on the board, it's 4 cards that it gives us instead of them countering it or them getting rid of Ashe beforehand. Plus, I want to find that land, especially on curve. It's very important. So we find the lands, get the land, play the land. I want to see if this will resolve, because if it does, like it did, that'll be really nice. We're just going to try to overwhelm them with value at this point. Plus, we want to ramp up for the Ugin anyway, which is the real card that they're going to want to counter. These are just like things we want them to get rid of instead of the Ugin. Let's see if they counter it. Or they could also remove it, but let's see. They don't. They let it stay on the board. If I bring out the Thran Spider, I think that'll be too much on the board, and they'll just do something. So for now, we're just going to leave it like this. There's no rush in a game like this. This is one of those games that's going to end up being grindy. And they already have some form of removal, which we should have saw coming a mile away, but, you know. It's either we commit to the board and get board wiped, or we just play one dude and then just gets destroyed like that, but this dude said good game. Oh, really? Why? Opponent's going first. This hand is very debatable to keep, just because we only have 2 lands, but we have Ugin, we have the White Auracites, which could also help us ramp up if we could get to 4, and with Mazemind Tome, we will hopefully get there. And the Thran Spider only makes everything better. So if we could get to 3, then Thran Spider will be our way to get to 4, and then we just move up the chain from there. But it looks like our opponent's playing a Orzhov self-bounce deck, if I had to guess, unless they're playing dragons too, but who knows. We do get another land though, which is very good for us. Board wipe might be relevant in this matchup, or it also might not. Okay, I'm not going to get the board wipe. This is why. We're going to commit our mana on the following turns to deal with whatever threats they bring out, and it'll probably end up being like 1 or 2. I don't think they're going to go wide with this deck. They'll probably go for Pixie, then recast, so we're going to just spot removal the choices instead of board wiping, because we want to end up finding our lands every turn, so we could implement our own game plan. So that's how we're going to do it. So what do we get? Don't need that. Draw. Okay, so we go for Thran Spider. By the way, this is really good because it has reach. It could block the Nurturing Pixie. So they could either commit to getting rid of the Thran Spider or doing something else. They are thinking, though. I always wanted to play this in my self-bounce decks, but I don't know, for 2 mana it is a little expensive, but if you could just keep playing this and the game just progresses, you are going to win. It's so good, but Hopeless Nightmare for 1 mana compared to this, which one's better? You know. Okay, so they get rid of the Thran Spider. It's not a big deal at all. What is the move then, you may ask? I'll tell you what is the move. We're gonna go for the Auracite. We're gonna get rid of that, because then they won't be able to use it anymore. And we're gonna just try to get the life gain. That's a land. So we slow them down. Well, maybe we slow them down, but we get rid of one of their resources that they try to bounce. Well then, that United Battlefront's going to be huge for them. But let's see. If nowhere to runs on the board, they're not going to be able to really use that against me too much. I mean, sure, I play a couple cards, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It just depends on what they get right now. And yeah, you know what? If they do bounce the temporary lockdown back to hand, then yeah, that's not the biggest temporary lockdown. Okay, so we draw. We have 5 mana. I could technically, if I wanted to, get rid of the temporary lockdown. But is that right? I don't think it is. So instead, we're going to go use Instant Ramen. We're going to draw a card. We're going to use another Mazemind Tome. I'm going to scry once again. I don't think that's good. Yeah, we don't want. But at the same time, it does produce a mana. It throws a body on the board. 5 mana. Nah, we're not going to take it. We want to get to the Ugin, because once the Ugin resolves, I don't think they have anything in their deck that they main that'll be able to get rid of it. Unless they just happen to be playing Sheoldred's Edict in this kind of theme of deck. But you would think all the removal that they're playing is like a Tithing Blade or Momentum Breaker as their forms of removal, so they could get value with it. So if they go temporary lockdown, what does that really do for them right now? It's not going to do that much, so I don't know if they're going to do it. They might want to just keep this 2/1 body on the board. But they end up going for the temporary lockdown. It's so funny. Okay. So I'm going to do this. And you have to do this. That's the bad part. 3. But if I get 1 more land, which is the White Auracite, then 1, 2. So they're only going to get that back. You know what? I'm doing it, guys. The whole idea is now I get to go for Ugin next turn. And that is a lot of value for me. Oh, look at this. Now I could even play this right now. Do I do that, or do I go for the gain 3 life? You know what? I think the gain 3 life might be more relevant. Because I don't want to die. If I don't die, I'm going to win this game. Well, obviously, if you don't die, you win the game. Most cases, but I'd like to think that since they're burning me so much, that this 3 life will be definitely more important than bringing out a creature that isn't going to be too relevant. I'm just going to do this right now. Wishclaw Talisman, what a card. It's a good card. I don't think we're going to need another one though right now. That is good though. That will be very good because we'll use it with the Ugin. Going to exile this first. Bring out the Ugin. Let's gain some life. Draw a card. A little scrying. So I think we're at the point where they won't be able to come back. Unless they do something crazy though, of course. I'm just looking for artifacts. Nice. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comments section down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you have not already. And if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. Hope everyone has a great day. Take care.